So there's a couple easy ways to get some data. I'm going to show you one way to access data on just a single quiz or test. So once you've logged on, you're at your dashboard. There's no need to even enter into your class. You're just going to go up to the top to these tabs and you're going to click Reports. And from Reports, you're going to select Gradebook. And so there we go. I'm going to click Gradebook and it pops you up to this page. Now there's a couple different ways you could, if you know the exact name, and we probably do because it's probably like lesson 1.1 something or other, we could actually just try to type in a keyword, but you do have to be pretty specific on that. Don't worry about this year because you can't select anything else right now, but you could go into Grand Rapids Christian, select yourself hopefully. Depending on how many courses you have, you need to find our course here. There we go for me. Hopefully it'll be easier for you. We're in Unit 1 obviously only, and then the 1.1 quiz. Finally, or sorry, lesson 1.1, and then there's the quiz associated with that. So again, you could, once you get more familiar, maybe you can search a little bit quicker, and we can see it down there, and I'm going to click Apply. Stephanie, by the way, after you do this for one class, make sure that you close this or clear it. I think either one of those options, to X out or to clear, and then you'll have to run through those options again, or at least this bottom one or this course one, and select a different hour before you click Apply. So once you have that, don't forget to click Apply, otherwise it doesn't do anything good for you. And now we have the quiz down here. Well, again, it doesn't really help too much if you're over here unless we do a few more things to it. So one thing that I really like is to show the color. It's going to give you a quicker snapshot of how things are going. You can see that my students aren't following directions, as one of them took it 2 more times and is still not doing good on it. And the second thing that you want to do after clicking Show Color is you want to grade by standards. Grade by standards. It gives you this whole option. We can talk about what all these mean at some other time, but ultimately we want to look at the actual standards. And the actual standards is what we're calling our learning targets. So at this point we have a nice full screen here of it. So what I plan to do is go down. Remember 1.1a is the whole what is chemistry idea, and 1.1b is the CUPO idea. We really aren't supposed to be able to get 75% in here, but I believe that question about being stewards of God's creation, actually somehow I didn't get a standard on that. So it was only graded out of 4, so 3 out of 4. So I'm going to accept that. So for me, I think Xavier is the only one that I would make come in on this particular standard. Anyone below 75%. Typically, if I do things correct, we have the 80% for 5 questions, and so more than one wrong is going to give you under an 80. Again, there could be some different results here, as we had that CUPO diagram was half points for each of the 4 things. So technically you could get some different increments of 10%, which is why we have a 30% here. So my plan on this one is to look through this, and any of these people who aren't green, and again, if you hit a 75%, you can kind of make that judgment call, but these 6 or 7 people or so, I'm going to send an email and say they have to come in and have a little CUPO discussion with me, and maybe I'll make them do a little bit more with some of those additional resources attached. At that point, then I would let them take a retake. So hopefully this gets you a good idea. Again, you're going to go to Reports and to Gradebook. You're going to filter through to find your class in the particular quiz. You're going to click Show Color, Grade by Standards, and Standards. Steph, once again, don't forget that if you wanted to start over, you're going to have to do something like this, where you're going to have to clear it out and then do it over again, or you could have tried Xing that out. Okay? Looking up assessment. What did we have? Lesson 1. Actually, see, that's not going to work. It's lesson 1.1. And this is probably why we should have just typed everything in, because it gets a little confusing, because you got to make sure now that you actually choose the one that's from your class hour. So it's probably easiest just to go through the list. So hopefully this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, have fun.